It's Thursday, January 31st, 2013. My name's Dez here at Grok Trade. And just in, Congress clears the increase in the debt ceiling, taking away the debt ceiling yet again. We here in the U.S. keep pushing the buck down the street. Anyway, we're going to do a clearing of ceiling through May 18th of this year. And anyway, I didn't say it yesterday other than the text, but GDP dropping for the first time in some time was not good. I mean, it dropped by 0.1%, and which is the largest decline that the U.S. economy has seen since October of 2009. So anyway, we have some analysts here saying the Dow will hit new highs before crashing 50%. Can you believe that? It could certainly happen. But let's take a look here at the S&P daily. What we have here is resistance, resistance, resistance. Three resistance back here in February, March time. Going back a year or so, we come across capturing this swing, but I moved that moving average to this high. The reason I was able to move this was today's candlestick for Thursday. We have a lower high, lower low. So this is a beginning now of a drop. So I moved it up there as our new resistance point. If you look at this minor trend line here, resistance, 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 that's acting as a valid trend line also. A trend line that's also parallel with this one brings us down here to support, support. We're at that support area. So right now, long as we can stay in this channel, it's about a 45-degree angle heading northbound. Long as we can stay in this channel, it could go up for a long time. But the problem is this: it's already been extended up 7-8 days, and now it's pulling back. With that, usually you get a nice correction, I would say, to the rising 20-day moving average. So if we start to break down, then this area of support should now start acting as resistance. The other problem is this trend line up here. Because it served as a nice resistance point here, chances are if it does pull back and rally back, it's going to act as resistance yet again. Let's take a look at what's going on here in the markets. The S&P down 0.26%, Dow down 0.36%. Well, what's interesting here with the Dow is for the month, see, we're closing out the month of January right now, and the Dow did surge 5.8%, which is the best January since 1994, stats show us. Interesting. So a fantastic run here. NASDAQ barely in negative territory, but the Russells, check this out, making huge ground. Now this is interesting. This is a bullish move, up 0.6%. Banks up 0.45%. This is paving the way for some bullish activity, even in this drop that we had today. The VIX even dropped 0.28%. Commodities off, huge, off 0.6%. Silver down 1.55%, crude oil down 0.6%, US dollar down a fraction, and still utilities, the defensive sector, still right now going in bullish territory. Transportation doing exceptionally well, up 0.35%, really giving credence and bullish weight here to the Dow. A new one you'll see here is RVX. I'm watching this for a little while. This is just volatility on the small caps up here on the Russells. And you'll see Russells was very bullish, so it doesn't surprise us that volatility, the fear indicator on the Russells, was down almost 0.5%. Feel free to add that to your charts to look at also. So with this, take a quick gander here at Apple. It is doing nothing, just a sideways base. So remember, those bases, they can start to build up power. You see volume bleeding out is what should happen in a consolidation, so be watching that one. You could get some movement. Google building a high base. I mean, we could still have a breakout over 760. Facebook had a monster gap down today in a sizable rally, filling that gap and some, pulling back to about where that gap started. and it did so on massive volume, and that has to do with the earnings that came out, and it was all over the place. So let's take a quick look at gold while we're here. And gold, you'll see that we gapped down, went down and tagged that line and rallied from that. We've been talking about that. So I'm not sure how many of you gold bugs out there played this. I did not today, but how many of you guys bought when it hit that trend line we've been talking about forever? There's a lot of buying that takes place there, and it doesn't stay there long. It does a touch and go and rallies right back higher. All right. Hey, we're looking for volunteers. And what that means is we're looking for a few volunteers that are willing to help us with some trading projects that we're working on. And one of the big ones is the Stock Picks V newsletter each week. And you'll put in about an hour a week. So we need somebody that's dependable, somebody that knows how and very comfortable with the internet, and somebody that can stick with us for about 6 months. So we're looking for some interns. If you'd like to be interviewed for an intern position with us, a volunteered intern position, send mike@groktrade.com. Send him an email and say, hey, I'd like to be interviewed. So also, I will be in Mexico first week in March doing a live presentation down there in Mexico City, and I'll be doing that alongside Nitsa. Looking forward to that. And if you have not signed up yet, listen, we are doing this at an extreme discount. So talk to Nitsa and get registered because the early bird discount is still in effect. However, we are, I think, around 70, 75, maybe even 80% full now. Only a few seats left. First come, first serve. Anyway, hope you can join us. If you speak Espanol, great. If you speak English, that's okay too, because I'll be teaching it in English, but we will have a simultaneous translator there doing everything in Spanish. So that should be a great time. So anyway, take care, safe trading, and thank you for sharing us with your trading community.